What's going on, everybody? Back from the National Sports Card Convention. Yes. Just got it back in a little bit late on uploading videos, but shout out to everybody that is newly following us on YouTube and Twitch and Kick. IRL streaming the 100 hours was definitely a success. It was definitely a lot of work. I think from we did it first time last year, and now from this year, it was definitely like a complete. I ain't gonna say like 180, but it was definitely more working involved because, especially Wednesday and Thursday, so many people was at the show that our connection was. We anticipated a lot of people, and we was practicing for a lot of people, but it was way more than what we expected was. So kind of had to switch like to plan B. We figured out plan A wasn't working with the streaming and stuff. So, but shout out to everybody that just kind of just held on. Like I said, it was definitely a challenge. So appreciate everybody, and also appreciate everybody that bought merch from us. Also, doing that, we definitely appreciate that. Definitely helping the channel out a lot with that. And shout out to everybody that I saw at the National. Listen, I think like Wednesday and Thursday is always like, you haven't seen people in over a year. So basically what you're doing, you're just playing catch up, see how everybody's doing this. And, it's crazy because, you follow the same people on Instagram and TikTok and stuff like that. But to see them in person, I just feel it's just more better than just to, send somebody like a DM or something. And, shout out to, Simon, he was there. Shout out to him. Alex, shout out to him. Mac, shout out to Mac. Shout out, let's see, who am I leaving out? Sam. Shout out to Sam Jam, Brooks over at Magic City Collectibles. Definitely the whole sports card nonsense crew. Shout out to them over there, and shout out to Gary V, and especially shout out to Tyler over there at V Friends. It's good to. It's good to see familiar faces over there. And shout out to everybody that, like, I think we was in line for, we was going to do an arena club kind of thing. And we was in line, still live streaming. And some kid we didn't know was like, oh, are y'all the ones that doing the 100-hour streaming? I was like, yeah. So it's pretty epic that people that we didn't even know kind of knew what we was doing. It was huge this year, right? Shout out to all the new subscribers in here. I just know now I got a real grasp on what to do, and like I said, we don't really stream a lot. We are actually streaming Saturday, so we'll be at the Hoover Flip Show. So we'll be definitely streaming Saturday. So shout out to everybody that's going to hop on with that. I'm gonna put some stuff out on there. But National was amazing, like always. I had a lot of fun this year. It wasn't like the best fun I ever had at National, but it was definitely up there. The only crazy part that I would definitely say was that the trade nights. We go to, I definitely said this many a times, is the National, a lot of that for me is the trade nights. This year they shut down a lot of hotels, except for P1. The F1 trade night was amazing. I feel like that was really a legit type of trade night on that. But the thing about, and this is what we're gonna talk about, right? Is that the National they always been firm on not having it at hotels, right? not having it at, just having it in the ballroom, upstairs. But man, let me tell you something. Wednesday and Thursday. No. So Thursday was the first official night of the trade night. You could not get in there, right? Could not get in there. I mean, it was packed to the brim. Now, the National Trade Night is a lot of corporate, entities in there. So you have that, but it's still, you can't find a table in there because there's so many people. It's just best to really just kind of chill in the lobby area and just make deals like that. Get people putting in the door, because a lot of them people, especially who hasn't already got a table and that goes in there, they look at it and go, man, a lot of people don't even make it kind of around because they don't want to be in there. So you get them at the door, they go in, they see you, they come back out, and there's a lot more space in the hallway area. So a lot of the times we was getting a lot of stuff done, a lot of deals done right there in the lobby area, because people just didn't want to deal with what was in there for trade night. And listen, it's I've been going to National a long time, 16, 17, something like that, and I did not go to no Atlantic City ones, because I do believe that the Atlantic City one, I think, was the first trade night that was at the National, but I was there the year after. What was Anaheim? Anaheim was 15? I think Anaheim was 15 or 17. Which one I went there. And that's what I remember going when it really wasn't like nobody really there. So where it's at now, for where it was at, completely different. But the thing was that when we go to the National, I have my memories, especially in Chicago, at the hotels. We're talking about at the Loews, at the Crown, at I think DoubleTree had one. Embassy Suites had one. I do remember that. Hyatt was last year, but listen, I do understand that it can get a little rowdy in there. I understand that. But I think the National, and I can understand, like, okay, a lot of people say, well, because the thing with trade nights is that you don't pay for a booth, right? How they going to make it? I don't think the National had anything to worry about that. Okay, maybe it's a small show in, like, I don't know, in Iowa somewhere has to worry about that. I don't think the National has to worry about that. The National has to figure out a great balance in the ballroom trade night that they officially put on, that you have to have like a wristband, right, for this. So they have to figure out that right there, the ballroom situation, and the balance between the hotels, because you just can't have, I mean, it was by Friday, Saturday, it was ridiculously packed. Now, F1 trade night was Friday, and I remember coming back, and I know Friday was ridiculous. Saturday was, we finally got in there, but the thing was, it was like, okay, you had to even get in there, it was like an hour. You had to get, like, the show's over at 6. Trade night starts at 6. You really had to get in line on Hall G upstairs at least an hour to really get you a table, right? It's like 5 o'clock. I gotta sit on concrete. I guess the thing is that I'm thinking that it needs to be just a little balance on, and maybe to the point that even National can step up, like, hey, we don't have trade nights to these two hotels also. We gotta have some kind of structure or something. I mean, there has to be some kind of something with this. But I missed the hotel because, I mean, they completely shut down. The Hyatt put up a week before we even got there, was like, ain't no trading, ain't no loitering around. blah blah blah, whatever. You got to ask to leave. So listen, now the Hyatt was last year was it was on 1,000. So I understand that, and even after we stayed there till like late, and we're looking around going, man, we left it in a. But the thing was, it was like we were throwing stuff away. It was the point that it's like, okay, if they get a heads up, maybe they can bring like a cleaning crew or something to kind of manage all the trash and everything. But once the trash cans get filled up, I don't know what we got really left to do. But I understand we leave these hotels, in a mess. Okay, cool. I guess the thing is that I'm looking at it like this. It just, for me, I think trade night needs a balance because the National is known for these big, extravagant trade nights, and we're talking about like every night. Okay, we're talking about once a week. No, we're talking about every night. There was like, you just go to hotel to hotel to hotel. You have 3, 4 trade nights going on. And you're just doing hotel, all that, which is great, But I digress. National is still great. We'll be there next year. I'm actually planning right now for next year. Even with the IRL streaming, it's just gotta get better, right? So definitely working on that for next year. But also today, which is Thursday, it's officially, we got a football game. Okay, so which I'll talk about tomorrow. But I'm just saying, it's pretty exciting time. It's just, and every week or every year after the National, you have that week going into is the Hall of Fame game. So it's an excitement. You bought all these sports cards, you bought all these football cards and everything like that. It's an excitement. Then Topps football is going to be released, I think, on the 16th or 19th. So that's even more exciting. I know I'm going to give me a high box and probably that Wednesday. Probably, while I'm watching football, just break some open this nest. So it's a great time to be in the hobby right now, But I definitely see the growth of the hobby. The hobby's sports cards, man. Sports cards. Who would have thought it? It's huge right now. It's really huge right now. It's, I did not expect. I didn't expect it to be like this big. It's big, and I think it's, and for many years to come, it's just gonna get even bigger. I think kids are really enjoying it because it's always like that open window gap when you get to about high school and nobody else was like, all your other friends have gone to other high schools or stuff like that, and you don't have the camaraderie like people collecting in high school and stuff, and you kind of drop off, right? And even to like that, when you go, be in adulthood, nobody's, then you completely forget it because you got other responsibilities, you got other things to do, everything like that. But man, I see a lot of growth as National. I'll tell you that. A lot of growth as National. But shout out to everybody, like I said, shout out to everybody that subscribed. Shout out to all the new subscribers, especially on YouTube and everything. For all the comments, engaging with the platform. I mean, knowing that that you couldn't see nothing on stream. Listen, if you go and watch some of the stream, I got like a 9-hour video of just a green screen, just trying to figure out like, okay, why is this green? You know what I'm saying? So I'm figuring everything out on the fly though. But it was fun though. I love the challenge. I love just nuances like that, and the hobby's definitely growing. Get your football cards out. Let me know who going to win the Super Bowl in the comments. Let's just do that. Because my Falcons just need to just tank. We need to go get no one pick and do not get Archie Manning. You know what I'm saying? Let's just start rebuilding that up again. Jeez. Anyway, until next time, y'all be safe out there. Happy football season to everybody out there. And what team are you repping? Put it in the comments, man. And if you was at the National and you saw us there, leave a comment. Or if y'all was watching IRL stream, let me know, man. Put that in the comment, man. But until next time, be safe out there. Happy football season. We're out. Deuces.